Run, river, run, run through the hills. Run, river, run to the sea. Run, river, run to your place beneath the sun. Run, river, run.
Hi, this is Jan Lewis. Welcome to Be My Guest. Today we have Billi Manning with us, and Billi is the chairperson for the Hopedale Cultural Council. And also, she's going to be sharing with us about the Hopedale Day in the Park. They do this every year. It is a fantastic event. I've been in it. I've been to it as a customer. I love it. If you're watching from out of town, out of state, out of the country, Hopedale is right next to Upton, where we film the show. It's an adorable town, very historic, right?
Oh, very historic.
Welcome, Billi.
Yeah.
Billi, would you like to talk about how long have you been on the Cultural Council?
I've probably been on the Cultural Council probably close to 30 years. This is the 39th annual day in the park, and I wasn't on it at the very beginning, so yeah. I'm guessing.
Does your T-shirt say Day in the Park?
It does.
Where do you get a T-shirt like that?
Well, these T-shirts were made for the council members in this bright yellow color, so that when we're in the park that day, we can easily locate the members.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we've had members resign, and we have new members, so we just got some new shirts. They're not quite as vibrant as this, but they do say Hopedale Cultural
Are they yellow?
Council. No, they're not. They're red.
Okay. I was just going to say, I'll bet it's going to be red.
No, they're
I'll
red.
know either way what you folks are. And the Day in the Park, when did this first come about?
Well, I think this goes back to the days when Draper Corporation was the main focus in town,
Yeah.
and they used to have picnics and such for all the workers.
Yeah.
And so some years ago, 39 years ago, somebody in town decided to resurrect this kind of community fun activity, and that's when it started.
And that's when it started.
And it's gotten bigger and better.
Let me tell you, this is fantastic. She brought one of the flyers. If you happen to stop into the library, you'll see one right on one of the bulletin boards. It is obviously sponsored by the Hopedale Cultural Council in cooperation with the Hopedale Parks Department and a grant, thank you very much, from the Massachusetts Cultural
Right.
Council. It's going to be Saturday, September
15th.
right? And rain date the
Sunday.
The Sunday. What time to what time?
10 in the morning until 4.
And if you're coming from out of town, you don't know the area, it's right basically in the heart of Hopedale.
Right. You can go down 140,
Yeah.
or Route 16, and pretty much get there from there.
And Dutcher Street, right?
Dutcher Street.
That's how I get to the library over there.
Dutcher Street off of 140,
Yeah.
or Route 16, and you can turn over on Hopedale Street, and that'll bring you right down to the park.
And parking is what you can find.
Pretty much.
Okay. I know, it's a little
Yeah.
competitive.
Yeah.
They are. I know I was in it, and I did some art years ago with the kids. A juried art show.
hmm
How many artists do you have?
Well, right now we don't have as many as we'd like.
Yeah.
But what happens is with anything that goes on, we have people trying to come in at the last minute.
Yeah.
They wait until the last minute. So right now I happen to see the person who's taking the art applications this morning, and every year she gets very nervous because there's very few. But right up until almost the day of the event, we have people saying, "Can I still be in the show?" So
Is there a deadline right now?
well, we like to get them in kind of the week before.
Okay, so it's going to be the event is the 15th of September. Today is August 23rd.
23rd.
Okay, so you folks
Still
gonna
have
be,
about
right.
2
You got
weeks.
time. You're going to be seeing
Yeah.
this long before the 15th. So how before we forget, how would they sign up?
Okay, on the Town of Hopedale website, you can look under the tab Boards and Commissions and drop down to Cultural Council, and we have the applications there for the artists, which is the juried art show, which is a separate application from vendors who would like to.
So they can
be
do.
in it,
What
right.
is the cost to have a site?
Okay, to be a vendor is $40. And then there are some that are nonprofits, and we have a different scale for that. Artists, I believe it's either 20, I think it's 20, could be 25, to enter 3 pieces of artwork in the art show, which is held under a tent.
Yes, I remember going in it.
Mhm.
It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of different styles.
Absolutely.
Are
yeah.
photographers
Okay.
welcome too?
Photographers, oil painting, even sculpture. We've had a few
Children's
pieces
art
in
is
the back.
big now. Even children's
Well,
art.
we have a children's art show that we hold in December. Well, we call it a student art show because
Yeah. Yeah.
The high school students don't like to be called children, but we have a student art show that we hold at the community house in December that goes along with the tree lighting ceremony that we have every year. So this art show is for people 18 and over.
And our resident whodunit author, Glenn Ickler, the mystery writer, he's going to be
Going to be there.
Yeah,
Yes,
he will be.
Yes.
He's got another book. I think it's now been set for publication. He'll be back. He's got another whodunit coming out. He writes a book, I think, every year. He is fantastic. Now, also, craft tables. I love. You have how many crafters?
Well, again, they're coming in. I have a list here of the crafters as of last week,
Mm-hmm.
but every day we get calls and emails for the people want to participate. We take crafters. We prefer handmade items from anywhere. They can be from New Hampshire, from Maine,
Sure.
or wherever. And that's $40 to set up, and we set them up all over the park. But we also, for vendors, have the schools, all the high school classes, the Cub Scouts, the Boy Scouts, churches. They set up booths to fundraise.
Sure.
They sell popcorn and ice cream and all kinds of food.
Yeah.
And that's a big fundraiser for them, especially the high school kids. They have games for the kids, find the rubber ducky and
Yeah.
basketball shoots, and sometimes they have a dunk tank and things like that. So there's a lot of stuff for the kids to do.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Also, now this is really cool. They're going to have rainforest reptiles.
We've had them every year, and they're always a big draw because they bring snakes and small alligators or crocodiles, and the person who comes with them, sometimes it's a male, sometimes it's a female, and they're very good with the audience, and sometimes the kids get to hold the snakes,
Are they from the
touch them at
zoo,
all.
Southwick?
No, they're not. They're in, I believe they're in Beverly, Mass.
They're in Beverly, but they come
And-
a little distance. Yeah.
And if you ever see sometimes where a snake has escaped and they send somebody out to get it,
Yeah.
sure enough, it's usually Mike, who is from Rainforest Reptiles, that goes to get it.
Yeah, and he gets
Yeah.
it. And he's going to be the little, probably, I don't like snakes at all, but those little, I like lizards. They're kind of cool.
Yeah, they bring out a variety of animals and
Yeah.
talk about them, and we have it on the basketball court where it's a little bit shaded because some of these animals really shouldn't be in the bright sunlight, and hopefully we will have a bright sunny day.
Yes.
And the kids sit down on the basketball court and the parents stand behind, and it's always a big draw. We've had them several years now.
I love it that the fact that the Hopedale, the day in the park, you always have a rain date.
Mm-hmm.
Not every event I've been to does. They don't even announce it, or they don't have one, but this is right. If it's going to be a mess on September 15th, Sunday the 16th.
Yeah, we've had to use the rain date a couple of times, but fortunately the last few years we've had great weather.
You've been lucky. Now, music. You've got DJ Mike Rutkowski.
He's a Hopedale resident, and he is fantastic. He gets the kids going. He has hula hoops. He has bubbles. He has little games. He has little dance contests.
And he's the DJ.
He's the DJ, and he says, okay, kids, grab your parents and dance, and he gives out little prizes. He's got candy, find the diamond. He's fabulous.
Where does he come from?
He's from Hopedale.
And he's from Hopedale.
He's from Hopedale, and he does a lot of events. I assume he does like weddings and things like that, but he does a lot of kids events.
He sounds really.
Yeah.
Would you say that when I was there, and I love it, the main thing I noticed was, and of course I love crafters, would you say they take up a good part of it, the booths there?
It's about probably 50% crafters and 50% of the organizations that are set up doing games or selling food of some sort, because we have hot dogs and popcorn and ice cream, and usually those are the churches or the high school classes that are doing that.
Which churches are going to be there?
Sacred Heart Church is going to be there.
From Milford, right?
No, from Hopedale.
Hopedale, okay.
From Hopedale. And usually we have the Union Church and the Unitarian Church. However, we haven't quite gotten their application yet, but they usually do apple pie and sausage sandwiches, which are really great.
And oh, really? Sausage?
Yeah, sausage and pepper, really quite good.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, I was trying to think. TMI Self. That's Defense Capkedo Demonstration.
Yeah. I don't want to say karate because I'd probably be mistaken by saying that, but it's some kind of self-defense, and they service kids as well as adults, and they're going to have a booth, but they're also going to do a little 10-15 minute demonstration.
I had never heard of Capkedo. Never. I mean, I've heard of karate and jiu-jitsu and all that.
Yeah.
But never. How did you find Capkedo? TMI Self.
Well, the owner is a Hopedale resident.
Oh, and he came to you then.
I think somebody on the council had a child who was part of their classes, and so we got them interested in coming.
We are talking with Billi Manning, and she is the chairperson for the Hopedale Cultural Council. We're talking about the Hopedale Day in the Park, and that's a big event around here every year. September 15th, Saturday, 10 to 4, and there's a rain date. If it looks lousy out there, how lousy does it have to be?
Well, we tell everybody that who is a vendor, if there is just very light, misty rain, we have it, and then if it's like a horrible, horrible downpour, then
That's
we
it.
have to.
Then it's the
cancel
next
it.
day, the 16th. Same time on the Sunday?
Yes.
10 to 4.
Mhm.
Okay, now, Animal Craze Petting Zoo. Did they come from the zoo?
They come. I've forgotten where they're from exactly. This is our first time having them. One of the members from the council's daughter had them for a birthday party, so they're going to bring all these little baby animals, and the kids can pet them. And so this is their first time coming. So
Sounds
I
like
thought
a lot of fun.
that would be something nice for the
If
kids.
we have a relative or somebody in a wheelchair, is this all accessible?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
It is,
Yeah.
okay. Because I know it's a little, I think there's a sidewalk there too.
Oh, there's a sidewalk. Yeah.
Okay. And the little red shop over there, that's going to be open all day
That's
too.
going to be open all day.
What do
Right.
they have in that?
They have a couple of looms. They have a lot of historical memorabilia from Hopedale and from the factory,
Yeah.
which made looms, the Draper looms. They have some items for sale, mugs and shirts and commemorative postcards and things like that.
I never went
Yeah.
in there, but we had the one of the head park rangers on in
Mhm.
Blackstone Valley, and he was mentioning the little red shop.
Yeah,
I
they've
s- people s-
taken tours sometimes.
Yeah, and people love to sit around the. Is it the pond? What pond is that?
Hopedale Pond.
And they have, of course, they have geese.
Oh, yeah.
Duck. Yes, I know. We have them here, too.
Unfortunately, we do have a lot of geese.
Don't send them over here.
Yeah.
We're trying to get rid of them from the beach over here. Oh,
Yeah.
does Hopedale have its own beach? I know Mendon.
Well, there was a swimming area at one time,
Yeah.
but and the kids used to swim down there. Both of my boys had swimming lessons down there, but then they always had a weed problem and bacteria problem, and it got so that the pond was closed for swimming more than it was open. So now there is no swimming on the pond, but we do have a very active boating situation down there. We
Yeah.
have Fin and Feather right over here from Upton.
Yeah.
They come down on Wednesday nights, and they rent canoes and kayaks, and they have a little camp down
didn't
there
know
also
that.
during the day. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to rent a canoe.
Yeah, so they're going to be there at the Day in the Park.
They're going to be there too.
Yeah,
Fin and
Fin and
Feather.
Feather.
Fin and Feather will be a day in the park.
Yeah, so you can go out on the pond.
Jump and Juba. Is that the name of the band?
That's the name of the band. Yeah.
What
And
kind
we
of
had
music?
them before. They're from the Boston area.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to describe the music.
Kind of everything?
A little bit of everything, yeah.
That'll appeal to all the generations. What is a BST MMA fitness demonstration?
And that's another kind of
Kind of like a karate type of thing?
yeah, maybe not karate, self-defense.
Self-defense.
Yeah. Yeah, they had contacted me. They're actually out of Mendon.
Yeah.
And I said, well, we'll have, they're both different, I guess, takes on the self-defense.
Yeah.
And so they'll demonstrate what they do, and people can see the differences between what they offer.
Like a lot of events, let's say, well, the space $20 for an event or something like that, or $25. Sometimes what they do is they bring a friend who maybe she makes jewelry and the other one makes pottery.
Mhm.
So they get one table
Mhm.
and then they share it.
Well, I'm actually going to be, as far as wearing the hat as the chairperson of the event, I'm also have a table, and I share with a friend. My friend is from Upton, and she does beautiful sewing sewn items and quilts and things, and I do photography. So
Ah.
while I'm running around the park doing my official business,
Yeah.
she
She'll
can
mind
man the
the store.
table. Yeah.
I didn't know you're going to be in it too.
Mhm.
How long have you been into photography?
Quite a while, I guess. Probably 25, 30 years. My father used to do a lot of photography, and he developed his own black and white prints, and I would help him, although I don't really remember anything that I learned. At that point, I was too young to appreciate that.
Yeah.
But
My
I always
husband is
had
into it. He does like nature photography. Did you like an Ansel Adams in a way? Remember Ansel?
love Ansel Adams.
There, I think some art galleries, just off topic for a minute, are struggling because people, for some reason, they want to come and look, but they don't want to buy.
Yeah.
You know, it's expensive.
Yes, it can be an expensive hobby. Now with the digital, there's a lot more people interested in photography than there were before because
Yeah.
it's so easy. You go anywhere and people are using their cell phones. And the
Yeah.
cell phones take pretty decent pictures
You think
sometimes.
so?
Yeah, some of them do.
Billy, again, how can people reach you if they'd like to be in Hopedale Day in the park?
Well, one way is to go onto the town website, Town of Hopedale, go to the tab Boards and Commissions, drop down to Cultural Council, and there are the applications for the art show and for vendor applications. Also, we have a Yahoo mail account, Hopedale Cultural Council at yahoo.com.
What if there's let's say a senior out there who may not have a computer available? Can they call somebody to sign up?
Sure.
Is there a number for that?
I believe on the on the application, if they don't have, they wouldn't be able to see it on the
Is there a contact
computer.
person?
Yeah, or they could call the town hall, and they could.
The town
No.
hall, and then they can direct you as to how.
Yeah, I sometimes get emails from the town hall
Good.
about people who were trying to contact us.
Right, yeah, because, it's hard to imagine, but there's quite a few people who don't have a computer.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of them come to the library, but others just don't have any access at all. So as long as they know, and that's if they want to be in it, they can connect with you.
Right, and I did put some applications for vendors and artists in the Hopedale post office, so those are on the counter there.
Oh, so there's you can sign up papers right there in
Mhm.
the Hopedale post office. Is that Dutcher Street? What is that? Or Main
It's on Hopedale Street.
Okay.
It's right next to the town hall. It's across from the high school, and also from the big Unitarian church.
That's where the library is.
Yeah, it's all right there. If you blink, that's
It's it.
That's
yeah.
it.
That Unitarian church is beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
We were in there for a
Mhm.
funeral service, and I was just so taken by. What was
Mhm.
that church years ago? Was that always a Unitarian church?
I don't.
I don't
know.
I don't really know. But the stained glass and all
That's
that type
beautiful.
of thing. Now, what got you interested in being on the Cultural Council?
Well, this was when the town had their 100th anniversary. I was involved in that. We had a big parade. This was back in 1986 or 87. And so I was involved in having the big centennial parade. I actually live across the street from the town hall and the post office, so it was very
okay.
convenient to go to any meetings. And then after that, there was a little piece in the Milford Daily News about it was called the Hopedale Arts Council at that time, and they were almost going to disband because they had no active members.
Yeah.
And so I decided to go and find out about it, and I've been on it ever since.
How many people are in the Cultural Council?
Right now, I think there's about 10 of us.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we are an agency of the Massachusetts Cultural Council. Every city and town has a cultural council.
Hmm. We do too. Here in
yes.
Upton, yeah.
And the Mass Cultural Council gives every council, local council, an appropriation every year.
Well, that's what the grant is. Okay.
Right. And with the money that we get from the state, we accept applications for the grant. We get them from the library, the senior center, from, for instance, the Claflin Hill Symphony Orchestra. They can apply for a grant. Then that's once a year. The applications have to be in by October 15th. And then we have a meeting as a council, usually in November or early December. We look over all the applications and we distribute the money.
So they send a lump sum. Grant.
They send a lump sum.
And then you decide who should get what or whatever.
Right.
How does that help with the day in the park?
Well, as a council, we can get a small percentage of that we can use for our own activities.
Sure.
And so most of the time we do take that money and use it for the day in the park. So we pay the bands, we pay Animal Craze, we pay the DJ, we pay to put up the tent.
Really? Oh, you have to rent the tent?
We have to rent the tent.
Okay.
That's pricey. And we get tables and chairs so that people can sit down and have their
If you're a
food.
vendor there, too, I notice some vendors bring tents anyhow.
Yeah, everybody has to bring their own table and their own
their own
tent and to help in case there is a little mist, or absolutely sometimes it's very sunny.
Yeah, sunny. Hopefully we
Mhm.
don't have one of these we've been having lately. What was I going to say? I remember that a lot of them were like, if I walked down the sidewalk, they were lined up along the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
It's
We
pretty
have them
good.
on both sides. There's 3 tennis courts down there, and we have people lined up on both sides of the tennis court. The food mostly is closest to where the playground and the bandstand is, because some of them need electricity and so forth. And then we also have a lot of the high school classes are lined up. You would say it's the third baseline of the ball field, because they have their dunk tanks and their games for the kids, and they're usually over there. So
What time would a vendor need to get there, or is there an artist or whatever to set up?
the council gets down there at 7 a.m.
Oh.
And that's to help people when they come in, to let them know where their spots are. But most of the vendors start coming around 8 or so,
Okay.
and they can drive into the park and unload, and then we ask them to put their cars out. And,
So many times I'll meet someone, we have a lot of authors on the show, or in crafters, artists, and I'll say, don't be disappointed if you don't sell, maybe if you sell one thing, or what if you don't sell anything. Because I've seen people, and I've heard about them, go bananas if they don't. It's okay, because if you can make a contact with somebody else, it's all right.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee you're going to
Yeah,
sell.
I can look at, now this is the list that I got from the girl who's in charge of the vendors. So this is the list that we had so far, and since then we've gotten more inquiries.
Yeah.
So let's see, we have here some wooden items. We have some lotions. Somebody's making slime, jewelry.
Slime.
Yes,
that's
there's
cool.
slime.
Yeah.
There's some jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Quite a few, and then there's some apparel. I think that's one of the high school classes. Maybe has the all the Hopedale sweatshirts and things like that. Let's see what else. Somebody's doing fudge.
Oh,
I
fudge?
think it's fudge.
Oh.
And then we do have 2 girls in town who make wonderful cookies, and I know that they're going to be vendors there.
Oh, you're killing me here.
And let's see, there's a vendor for handmade soap.
Handmade soaps, natural
Mhm,
things.
yeah.
How about bees? Are the bee people going to be there, like beekeepers and selling their honey?
I haven't seen anybody so far, but as I said, this list is old now because it's about 10 days old. So
And
we're
the author,
getting-
Glenn Ickler, will be there. Probably he has so many whodunit books.
Yeah, I did see his name along here somewhere. Yeah, I knew he was going to be there.
Yeah, he's funny. He goes to Martha's Vineyard, a lot during the summer. And he sent me in the email a picture of him sitting there on his porch. I don't know who took the picture, but it was a very good picture. Now, again, we're talking with Billi Manning, and she is the chairperson for the Hopedale Cultural Council, and we're talking about the upcoming September 15th, Hopedale Day in the Park. Again, how can people reach to get onto the Day in the Park?
I'm sorry?
Again, how can people reach them?
Okay, you can go onto the Town of Hopedale website or call the town hall in Hopedale, and if you don't have access to a computer, to download the application from the website, or you can ask the town hall, and usually they forward the messages to me and get information.
So it's September 15th, so you've still got some time.
Right.
Don't wait forever.
Yeah.
Do you have a cutoff? Like, this is it?
Well, the woman who's in charge of the art show, she pretty much takes people right up until the last minute. However, we do have a program that we make up with all the artists' names and the titles of their artwork and a price if they're selling it. And we do have a drawer that comes in and awards ribbons in 4 categories, first, second, and third prizes. So we need to have that list ahead of time. We can't be having people walk up the day of the event and do that.
Yeah.
So she's very lenient with her doing that. Vendors, we've taken vendors at the last minute also. However, we do have a subcommittee on the council who plots out. We have a map of the park, and they plot out who is going to be in which spot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's helpful if we know that a few days ahead of time.
Yeah. And other times, how many vendors? I mean, I've heard it's huge.
Well, this is the list here, so there's probably about 45 different.
45.
I mean, that's including food and crafters.
That's a lot. All right, here's another question. We're going to wind it up, but what if some people want to bring their dog? Now that could mess up the lawn. What do you think about that?
The town has a law that there are no dogs in the park.
Okay. All right. Okay, so don't bring your dog. It's not cute.
Right.
We don't. They love dogs, but don't bring them to the Hopedale Day in the
they're
park.
really not supposed to be in the park. There are signs there for no dogs at the park.
I know the part I've been to when I took the kids there. There's like a swing or a little play area.
Yeah, there's a playground
On the area.
Yep.
And the park and the actual whole day in the park completely takes over that.
Right, because there's a ball field there too, and I had someone today ask me about that. They want to do something in the field, so I directed them to the girl who's taking the applications to see if there's any conflicts.
Yeah.
Also, call the park commission and make sure that's okay with them.
Definitely.
Yeah. So
Billi Manning, thank you so much. She's chairperson for the Hopedale Cultural Council. We've been talking about Hopedale Day in the Park coming up September 15th, 10 to 4. Sign up if you want to if you're an artist, you're a crafter, whatever, right? You're welcome.
businesses,
Businesses, sure.
Yeah,
but
we accept Hopedale residents who have businesses and Hopedale businesses.
Sounds good to me. Thank you so much, Billi.
Okay, thank
All
you,
right.
Jen.
See you next time.